Dear all, welcome to our presentation. My name is Evelyn and I will be talking on behalf of Group 1 in Art and Public Space. We will present the ongoing debate about issues of racism in the display of art that are at play at the Royal Museum for Central Africa, or RMCA, in Tervuren in Belgium. Many thought the museum displayed an unrealistically positive image about colonialism in their representation of Central Africa. To improve the image, the museum was renovated from 2013 to 2018, but even afterwards, the representation was still contested. To introduce you to the museum's history, in 1885, the Belgian King Leopold II acquired Belgian Congo as his private colony until it was handed over to Belgium and Rwanda Urundi was added. Belgium Congo became the most notorious example of exploitation and mass killings. In 1897, Leopold opened the museum to show what he thinks are the treasures and the opportunities of Congo to the Belgian public. The last major changes in the museum happened a few years before the independence of the colonies. The racial issues of the museum until the renovation can be explained by this outdated display. Different stakeholders have different viewpoints on this controversy, which led to a distinct power geometry. The Dictionary of Human Geography defines power geometry as uneven power relations that give stakeholders different kinds and degrees of human agency. The most powerful stakeholder is the RMCA itself, including its scientific institute. Many believe the most important value of RMCA is its educational value, as the museum aspires to spread knowledge on past and present societies and natural environments of Africa among the public and the scientific community, especially the local school children whose first impression of Africa is frequently shaped by the visit to the museum. Another stakeholder is the building owner, Belgian federal government, which is gradually acknowledging the controversial issues around Belgian colonial heritage due to historical revisionism in former colonies and all the criticism that RMCA received. Therefore, on the public of former Belgian colonies, but also Belgium and activist groups are less powerful stakeholders. On this list, we have also put the African diaspora communities in Belgium as they were not involved in curating their representation in the museum before the renovation process started. Nexus Uni software analysis gave us insight to the development of media attention to the renovation. The renovation of the museum was first mentioned in a critical article from 1995, while the official announcement for the renovation came in 2002. When the physical renovation started in 2013, the collections were stored all over the world. That can be presumed to have contributed to the increased international media attention to the former one-sidedness of the collection display and the hopes for renovation with a more multilateral view. However, as the renovation was getting closer to finish, the insufficient involvement of African diasporas in the renovation was criticized. To gain a deeper understanding of this topic, we decided to conduct interviews. It was difficult to find suitable interviewees, but we managed to find three: the director of the museum, Guido Grissels, and two visitors from Brussels who we reached out via Facebook groups and email. We noticed that they had different opinions on whether or not the renovation was necessary. The director and visitor one shared the opinion that it was necessary because of the outdated expositions of the museum, whereas visitor two stated that a colonial museum is not changeable. However, all agreed on the importance of the educational value of the museum as it contributes to a better understanding of Belgian colonial past. The biggest controversy we found amongst the interviewees concerns the involvement of the African diaspora community in the renovation. As Visitor One states, that the diasporas have to be involved more, Dr. Grisels argued that the museum is trying very hard to actively involve the African diaspora community. Also, Visitor One thinks that the museum personnel is still too white. In the interviews showed us that conclusions of visitors are mainly based on feeling and can be misguided by lack of information, whereas the director has greater insight to all the information and thus a more complete view of the museum. Conclusion is that art is always somewhat contested. Therefore, a more transparent attitude towards visitors may help to clarify the process of the renovation and reduce ambiguity among outsiders. Unlike before the renovation, we believe that RMCA's representation is now a lot more multilateral and that the museum has come a long way in improving its image. Thank you for your attention, and based on our presentation, what do you think of the museum? Would you visit it? We look forward to your answers and further questions.